Okay, welcome back. We're going to be looking at binary conversions part 2 this time. And you'll notice in this video I've already arrowed, we're going to look at these two as our examples. So we already know that from our first video that 1010 in binary lines up with corresponds with 10 in decimal, and that 1101 in binary corresponds with 13 in decimal. So what we're going to do in part 2 is we're going to show you in general how to convert binary numbers, all right, into decimal. So in this one, we're going to go into decimal. All right. Now decimal is base 10, but irregardless of what base you're going to, it's very similar. So there's only a little nuance for this one, and then in the part 3 video where we do octal and part 4 with hexadecimal, they'll vary a little bit, but the premise is the same. So looking at this number 1010, we also saw in part 1's video that these values here repeat by powers of 2. Well, just like our decimal number system, if we were to take the number 82, this is the ones unit and this is the tens unit. Well, oftentimes in early schooling, we would just say that's ones, that's tens, then continue hundreds. But you've never seen why or how that's the case. So everything about number systems, and in this case the binary number system, things are going to be related in binary. This is decimal, so you would have seen that 10 to the 0, 10 to the first that's 10. That's 1, ones, tens. So likewise, that would be 10 squared for hundreds. For the hundreds position, say it was 182, and that's 10 squared. And if we went another position, 3,182, that's now 3,000. So 10 to the 0, 1, 2, 3 gets you there. So this is where that decimal point would be. And the question then becomes, and this was everybody's favorite, what happens when you go this way? Say we have 25 cents. Well, this would be the tenths position. We would say, oh, that's 1 over 10, right? Well, where does that come from? Well, take a look at the math that's gearing up here. 10 cubed, 10 squared, 10 1, 10 0, that's 3, 2, 1, 0. What's the next number in the sequence? Correct, -1. And of course, -1 as an exponent removes the value of the integer to the denominator of the fractional value. And of course, the first power is still 10. So when you get 10 -2 continuing your count, that becomes 1 over 10 squared, and 10 squared is 100. Of course, now you have the cents. How many cents? 1 per 100. You have 5 cents for the quarter. So you can see the number systems take shape. All right. Pause the video here if you want a moment to kind of refresh that and go through that. All right. I'm going to move on in about 3 seconds. I apologize. That was more like probably like a second. But we're now going to look at that premise from the binary perspective. So this is a binary number. So therefore, instead of being base 10, because it was decimal, we're in base 2. So we're still in the same mode. If there's our binary point for where the number sits before fractional parts. So 2 to the 0, to the first, 2 squared, 2 cubed. And we saw that in the first video that these are our powers of 2 that are appearing in the pattern. And of course, that's what they are. 1, 2, 4, 8, continuing to be 16. All right. So look at this. You have 0 ones. That means you have nobody in the ones, so no $1 bills. Here you have $2 bills. Great. We have one $2 bill, so we have one $2 bill. We have no $4 bills. Not that we have those in here in this country. Do you have any $8 bills? We have one. So we have one $8 bill. Altogether, you have a total of how many dollars? 10. All right. So using the idea of money just as a conversation piece, the unit is irrelevant. We could say dollars. We could say euros. We have 0 times 1 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. 0 times 4 is 0. 1 times 8 is 8. I only care where the zeros don't knock out my number, so 1 times anything is the 8 and the 2. Add the results, and that will yield the value in decimal. All right, so let's do this continually over here. Fill in the numbers that go underneath. Hopefully you filled in 1, 2, 4, 8. The only one that has a 0 is the 2's position, so we'll ignore that. But we're going to look at the 8, the 4, and the 1. We're going to add all those numbers together. 8, 4, and 1 equals 13. And likewise, that's what we saw on the previous video. In the previous page in the notebook. So what if the number is larger? Well, let's just create here randomly a series of random values, and we just continue with our powers of 2. Again, where the zeros are. Start here where the point is. So 1, 4, 16, 32, 64, and 256. We're going to add these together. So these get a little tricky because the numbers get large, but 256 and 4, that makes short order of this. That's 260. 64 and 32, that's 96. And of course, we're just going to tack on a 1 when we're setting done. So just doing some little quick associative math. 15, oops, I can write a 5, and a 3. So 357 is this random set of digits, value in decimal. So the only thing left to deal with in decimal is what happens when we have something after the decimal place. Well, the same thing we did with the decimal numbers in our previous example, we're going to do with the binary numbers. So if you had values back here, 0, 1, 1, this is going to be 2 to the 0. Sorry, here's 2 to the 0, 2 to the negative 1, 2 to the negative 2, 2 to the negative 3. So this becomes 1/2, 1/4, 1/8. Similarly to the decimal way, it would be 1, 10, hundreds. Now you got the tens, the hundreds. The denominators just repeat the values of the powers of 2. So here you have 0 times 1/2 is nothing. 1 times a quarter is 1/4. 1 plus 1/8 is 1/8. So you have to add 1/4 and 1/8. So doing a little mathematical knowledge, 2/8 plus 1/8 is a total of 3/8. So this decimal here on the end is 3/8. Grand total 357 and 3/8. And you are done with your decimal conversion. Okay. Try some problems in the practice set. See how you do. And we'll come back with video 3 when we convert to octal.